All right, guys, we're back. Sorry for not uploading over the weekend. Went on a camping trip down at the beach. Had a great time with the family over Father's Day. Late Father's Day to any fathers out there. Hope y'all had an amazing Father's Day. But man, what a Father's Day present we woke up to today. Keel Infrastructure has blasted through $7. Insane. The broader markets right now, as I'm filming this, have started to take a little tumble, but Keel is holding strong. Really, all of the Bitcoin miners that are rotating into AI data center infrastructure are absolutely just smashing it. I really do think this could mean something that I have added into my thesis, that my core thesis when I first started investing into this company. You know, this is one of my big bets, and I think it's finally happening. And what I think is going on right now with Keel and the broader AI data center infrastructure plays as a whole is I think Wall Street is finally realizing where the bottleneck is going to come from. All of these hyperscalers and all, there's one thing that all of them are chasing. There's one thing that all of them need, and there's never enough of, right? And that's energy, data centers, and compute to put in those data centers, right? Those are the three main bets that are gonna just drive this market over the next couple of years, in my opinion, when it comes to the AI trade, right? What Keel is doing, even though they have not announced any kind of deals as of yet, they're positioning themselves, and along with a lot of these other infrastructure plays, they're positioning themselves to really take advantage of the CapEx that's going to be coming from all the hyperscalers. And, you know, the location of their data centers are also a huge plus for Keel, right? They're in very well positioned real estate areas for these data centers. And it's just amazing to see the thesis playing out in real time, right? This is why we invested in Keel, at least me, right? I'm not speaking for anybody else. This isn't financial advice, but this is exactly why we invested into Keel. Is exactly what we're seeing right now. Even though there's not a deal announced yet, right? I really, really, really have high conviction in a deal being announced within the next month. I know I've been saying it. I know I've been, wishing it, saying, oh, it's going to be this week. Oh, it's going to be whatever. I really, really, really think something's coming around the corner very, very soon. Very, very soon. And what we're seeing, like I was saying earlier that I didn't really touch on, is I really think Wall Street and a lot of other people, even, fund managers, they're noticing what's going to be the next bottleneck, and that is data center infrastructure and energy. It's huge, guys. It's huge. They're spending so much money in CapEx for that one reason, for new data centers, new compute, new places to put, their AI build-outs. Keel is at the forefront of the people that are going to be benefiting from all that CapEx. So we'll see what happens. Like I said, it's a beautiful thing seeing the thesis played out, having a thesis in a company, making that investment, and keeping strong conviction in that investment. Now, that said that, Keel, there's going to be massive, massive, massive volatility with this name. I want to say that in every video because it's super important. Because yes, on the green days, it's going to feel fantastic. But those green days are going to be accompanied by red days, big red days. But if your conviction stays strong, if your thesis stays strong, just hold through it. If you really do think that all this CapEx that the big hyperscalers are deploying, if you really think that Keel is going to be one of the beneficiaries of all that CapEx, the red days should not matter, right? You should see those red days as a massive opportunity to buy Keel on a discount, right? I kind of regret not buying more when this thing dipped down to the $5 range, right? We might get another opportunity to buy down at the $5 range, but if things keep going and they plan a deal announcement at the right time, this thing could shoot up to $10 by the end of the month if they play it right. I posted on Twitter, and you know, I made a post saying, wow, man, all I can say is wow about the price action on Keel, right? There's something happening in the background, whether it be, you know, my one thesis is Wall Street's finally starting to realize what the bottlenecks are going to be, which is the data center infrastructure. And not only that, but the Keel community is absolutely exploding. There has been an absolute explosion in the Keel community over the last month, right? You know, I kept wanting to bring up, you know, my past videos that Amit Investing, he has a huge following, right? He does a stock market open, stock market close every day. He has a huge following. And I'm in there every morning and every evening because I love his content. I love how he, you know, his analysis. But the Keel Army, even he called it today, the Keel Army in his chat has grown and grown and grown and is just compounding. And I like to take that, you know, I give my respects to McNally Money. They have done tremendous work in the these Bitcoin miners turned AI data center plays. They have done tremendous work. So shout out to them. I like to look at myself as one of the people helping to grow the Keel community. And then, you know, all the community members of Keel going in these, you know, bigger YouTubers chats and, you know, telling them, hey, look at Keel. Look what they're doing. You know, there's a massive opportunity brewing with Keel Infrastructure. And it's working, guys. The Keel community has, it feels like it's 5x just in the past month, right? And I know a lot of it is off of the price action. People are seeing it explode and people are like, oh, we got to get into it. This is the next big thing. Not thinking, you know, not taking taking into account the risk that can come along with it. And my worry is a lot of these investors are jumping into Keel. Sorry for the loud car. A lot of these investors are jumping into Keel without a strong thesis. That's my number one concern, is they see, you know, price go up and they're like, oh, we're going to buy that. That's my concern, because when the price goes down, they're also going to sell out, right? Which is fine, taking advantage of the momentum, which is fine. But I'm also seeing a huge uptick in long-term holders of Keel, right? I've been doing kind of like I've been putting my feelers out there on Twitter or X, you know, asking the Keel community, you know, why are y'all in this? What's y'all's time horizon in this stock? What's your thesis on it? What's your conviction? And I'm starting to really see some good answers. I'm not just seeing, oh, because it's in the AI sector. Oh, because it's went up such and such percent. You know, I'm starting to see people, you know, really have some smart answers and some, you know, real thesis behind their answers, which is very, very exciting. Very, very good to see. It's huge, man. It's a really good feeling knowing, you know, we've picked a winner, hopefully. You know, all signs are a go still with this name. I'm still super bullish on it. I'm still super convicted in it. And I'm excited to, you know, keep spreading the word of Keel, keep spreading their, you know, information, keep spreading their updates, because what they're doing and how they position themselves so far has been amazing, right? They raised capital at the perfect timing. You know, could they have waited and done it now at $7? Of course they could, but who would have known that it was going to $7 without a deal signed or a deal announcement, right? And we could get a deal announcement at the end of the day. We never know when that's going to come out. So you want to always just be ready for whatever comes, right? Be ready for whatever comes. I do think we could see an uptick in volatility this week because of the concerns around the Iran deal, you know, with, you know, they had the meeting in Switzerland and everything didn't go as planned. Could the deal be in jeopardy? Maybe, who knows? But I do think we could see an uptick in volatility due to that. But we'll just have to wait and see. But at the end of the day, guys, Keel Infrastructure is smashing it. The community has 5x, 10x, I don't know, but the community has absolutely exploded with growth, and it's really starting to show. It's really starting to show. Just a couple months ago, Keel was just a small, maybe big play that, you know, is a Bitcoin miner that are dipping their toes into the AI infrastructure sector. It's just a small name. Nobody really cared about it. But now it's been an absolute turnaround. The stock is absolutely exploding. The community is exploding. And I'm just super excited to be along for the ride. I'm super grateful to have a community come watch these videos and be along for the ride as well. all I want to see is people make money. Nothing makes me happier than seeing other people be successful. And, that's what I'm here to do, is just share information as it comes out. I'm not sitting here telling you what to invest in, not giving you financial advice, but just sharing my thoughts on what could be a generational stock if we can hold through the volatility and, just hold out a couple of years, let our thesis play out. And I really do think Keel could be one of our Palantirs. I say that, it's very like, oh, everybody says that, blah, blah, blah. But I really do think if we hold long enough and they execute the right way, Keel could be the next one of our Palantirs. So, guys, it's a small market cap. It's got a lot of room to run. It's got a lot of room for growth. The CapEx from these big hyperscalers is not slowing down for years to come, in my opinion. And where is all that capital going to flow to? It's going to flow to the small data center AI infrastructure plays that have power ready. Keel is on the forefront of that because they're planning, if they go off their plan, if we go off their plan, 2027 is when they can roll out all their power in their data centers. And that's quicker than a lot of the other companies out here in the data center play. So if everything executes, we could see rapid growth, and it's super exciting. So that's the update for the day. Thank y'all for tuning in. I really do appreciate the love. I appreciate all the support in these videos. It really means a lot to me. We have exploded over the past month, and I'm very, very grateful. But till next time, guys, y'all have a good week. Stay safe. Don't panic, sell your bags, and we'll see y'all in the next one.